let's jump into one of the most intense and, frankly, mysterious stories from the ancient prophet Daniel. It's a wild tale about a terrified prophet, a message from heaven that gets delayed, and a cosmic war happening just behind the scenes of our reality. So let's get right to the heart of it. Here's the central question. What could possibly hold up a message from heaven for 3 full weeks? I mean, when a prophet as devout as Daniel prays, you'd think the response would be pretty quick, right? Well, something got in the way. And the answer, it kind of pulls back the curtain on a whole other dimension.
All right, to really get a grip on this, we need to set the scene. We're talking ancient Persia, around 537 BC. It's the 3rd year of King Cyrus's reign, and our main character is Daniel, a deeply respected Jewish prophet who's living there in exile.
So Daniel gets this vision, and it's not a good one. He sees a future great conflict, a massive, terrible war that's going to involve his own people. And the sheer weight of this revelation, it's just about crushing him. And his reaction? Oh, it's immediate, and it is intense. For 3 full weeks, that's 21 days straight, he goes into mourning. He's fasting, not touching any rich food or wine, just desperately praying to understand what he's been shown. But here's where the real mystery starts. For all his devotion, for all his intense, heartfelt prayers, nothing. Crickets. For 21 days, heaven is totally silent. You can just imagine his confusion, maybe even his desperation, growing every single day. So after 3 long weeks of silence, how does it finally break? Well, it all happens while Daniel is standing by the Tigris River, and let me tell you, it happens with an encounter that is absolutely terrifying and changes everything. The being that shows up is, well, he's anything but subtle. Try to picture this. He's dressed in linen, wearing a belt of pure gold. His body shines like beryl, this brilliant gem. His face flashes like actual lightning. And his voice? It isn't a whisper. It's like the roar of a massive crowd. This is not just an angel. This is a being of immense power. And the original text really drives this home. It says his voice was like a tumult, which means, a huge, chaotic uproar. This wasn't just something Daniel saw. It was an overwhelming full-body experience. So what does this do to the humans who are there? It's absolutely devastating. The guys with Daniel, they don't even see the being, but they feel its presence and they just bolt in pure terror. Daniel, who gets the full view, is completely wiped out. All his strength is gone, he turns deathly pale and just collapses, totally unconscious. And this brings us right to the climax. This is the moment we've been waiting for. The messenger finally reveals why he's 21 days late. After this being helps Daniel up, he tells him something that must have just blown his mind. He says, "From the very first day you started praying, your words were heard. The answer was sent immediately. So, if the message was sent on day 1, where has this guy been for 3 weeks?" Okay, here's the breakdown of what happened. On day 1, Daniel prays, and the messenger is sent. But for the next 21 days, he's detained. He's literally held up fighting a battle against some other powerful force. It's only on day 21, when the Archangel Michael shows up as backup, that he's finally able to break through. So the big takeaways here? The delay wasn't divine indifference, it was an active conflict. And this just throws the door wide open to this idea of an unseen cosmic war. So who exactly are the players fighting in this spiritual battle? So let's look at the 2 sides. On one team, you have the divine forces, this celestial messenger and Michael, the archangel. But look who they're up against. These figures called the Prince of Persia and, the messenger warns, a future Prince of Greece. Now, let's be clear. These princes aren't human kings. The story strongly suggests they are powerful spiritual beings assigned to influence these earthly empires. What Daniel's vision does is it peels back the curtain on this concept of spiritual warfare. It's this idea that there are unseen struggles, these battles between powerful, angelic, and demonic forces happening behind the scenes of our world. And these fights can actually influence what happens with nations and on the world stage. So you have to wonder, right? Why go through all this trouble? The terrifying vision, the messenger's harrowing journey. What was the ultimate point of it all? Well, the mission was really fourfold. First, to give Daniel the understanding he'd been praying for about his people's future. But it was more than just information. It was also about giving him and us this unshakable confidence that even when things look chaotic, when there are terrifying conflicts, both seen and unseen, there's a divine plan unfolding, that God is still in control. And this isn't just some isolated, weird story from the Old Testament. This vision of a battle against spiritual princes over nations, it actually connects directly with ideas that pop up again later, especially in the New Testament, in places like Ephesians, where it talks about our struggle not being against flesh and blood, but against spiritual rulers and authorities.
Which leaves us with a final thought to chew on. This incredible vision revealed an unseen spiritual battle happening behind the great world powers of Daniel's time. So, if that's the case, what might a perspective like that suggest about the conflicts and the major world events we see all around us today?